Good afternoon to each and everyone, especially to Sir Inan Bukia. My name is Alshidich Ramalan, and I am the last reporter for the subject Anatomy and Physiology, and my topic is in chapter 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so let's start first in the chapter 22 entitled The Lymphatic System and Immunity. Okay. So one of the basic themes of life is that many organisms consume other organisms or use them to survive. Like for example, in us as a human being, we have a lot of organisms living in our body, such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoans, and even insects and worms that was living in our body, and we are acting as their host. Okay. So first, what is the function of lymphatic system? Okay, so we have three main functions. First, we have the fluid balance. So each day in the capillary network, approximately 30 liters of the fluid leave the blood and then enter the interstitial spaces of the body. However, only 27 liters out of 30 liters go back to the blood vessels. So that the remaining 3 liters is going to the lymphatic system and considered as lymphs. So second, we have the lipid absorption. So the lacteals are the lymphatic vessels located in the lining of the digestive tract that is responsible for this specific function. So the lymphatic system absorbs lipids and other substance from the digestive tract through the lacteals. Okay? So lipids enter the lacteals and then pass through the lymphatic vessels to the venous circulation. Then the lymph passing through these lymphatic vessels called bile appears white because of its lipid content. Okay, so the number three function is for defense. So microorganism and other foreign substance are filtered from lymph by lymph nodes and from blood by the spleen. That are the three main function. Now let us proceed to the lymphatic vessels. So we have the lymphatic capillaries. So in the lymphatic capillaries, it is the one who is responsible for the development or absorption of the interstitial fluid wherein the lymphatic system is working with the circulatory system. So, like for example, there is a 30 liters of um, fluid that was come from our blood and go to our interstitial fluid. So, in that the interstitial fluid is the fluid that is surrounding our cells. So, this interstitial fluid will be absorbed by the lymphatic system and later on became the lymph. It is called lymph. Okay. So when it is absorbed in the lymphatic capillaries, it will go to the lymphatic vessels. Lymphatic vessels are the much larger vessels than the lymphatic capillaries. And when it go through the lymphatic vessels, it will eventually go to the lymphatic ducts. So we have two lymphatic duct, the thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct. So ang right lymphatic duct is ang sakop niya lang is dito sa right part ng ating body. While the thoracic duct is hanggang sa buong katawan natin. So yun ang sakop ng thoracic duct. So what will happen when they reach or when the lymph fluid reach the ducts, which is the right lymphatic duct and the thoracic duct? It will eventually go back to the blood vessels or the circulatory system. So circulatory system and the lymphatic system is working interconnectedly in these systems, no? So out of the 30 liters, for example, 30 liters of this interstitial fluid, 27 liters only will go back to the circulatory system. Well, the remaining 3 liters will go to the lymphatic organs. Okay? So, what are those lymphatic organs? Before we proceed to the lymphatic ducts or lymphatic organs, rather, let us first discuss how the lymphatic system works. So, lymphatic system works not because of the pumping of our heart, not like the circulatory system which pump blood in the circulatory system, which is the blood vessels. No, so here in the lymphatic system, it function differently. So this lymphatic system solely relying to the movement of our body, the movement of the skeletal muscle and the contraction of our smooth muscles. Okay, so let us proceed to the anatomy of lymphatic system. We have tissues and organs responsible in lymphatic system. So, lymphatic organs contain primarily lymphatic tissues. First, let us start with the organs. No, we have the primary organs and we have the secondary organs. So for us to better understand these organs, let us first start with the secondary organs. Secondary lymphatic organs involves the tonsils, the spleen, and the lymph nodes. So let us first start in the lymph nodes. Okay, so lymph nodes are functioning as a one of the filtration organs of our lymphatic system. Okay, so here in the lymph nodes, we can found the lymphocytes and the macrophages. These are the cells that is protecting our body through filtering. Okay, so here in lymph nodes, we have the lymphocytes, which consist of the T cells and the B cells. So, and also the macrophage as the part of the immune system. They are the one responsible for filtering the pathogens like viruses and bacteria. So they are the one who is going to kill those bacteria and viruses and filter our blood so that we cannot be harmed by those pathogens. The most common location of lymph nodes is here in our sa ating leeg, no? So, pag nakikita natin 'yan, it can swell or pwede siyang buburot because of the infection, no? So, pag buburutin dito natin sa ating lymph nodes, this is a sign of infection. Lymph nodes are located in different parts of our body. So, I have here an overview of the lymph nodes location. So the other secondary lymphatic organs is the spleen. So basically, spleen is a organ that is has a blood flow. So it has a massive blood flow that is going to this specific organ, which is spleen. So spleen is the one who is responsible for filtering our blood. Similar to the lymph nodes, this spleen also contains the lymphocytes, which is the B cells and the T cells, and also the macrophage, which is the immune cell. So these three cells are the all present in these secondary lymphatic organs. Next organ, we have the tonsils. Okay, so in tonsils, we have different location of tonsils. First, we have the pharyngeal tonsil. Second, the palatine tonsil. And lastly, the lingual tonsil. So, since these tonsils are very familiar to us, it is the first lymphatic organ that is responsible for killing pathogens or any harmful substance that is entering our body, since it is located in the first digestive system of our body. So it is the first lymphatic organs who is responsible for killing harmful substance or pathogens that was trying to enter our body. Okay, so those are the three secondary organs or lymphatic organs of lymphatic system. Now, what are these primary lymphatic organs? So we have here the bone marrow and the thymus. So if the lymph nodes, tonsil, and spleen contains the three cells or these primary lymphatic organs are the one who is responsible for synthesizing or making those cells. So first we have the bone marrow. Bone marrow is where the lymph- lymphocytes are created. So in this bone marrow is basically the born site or the mother of this T cell and B cell, or also known as the lymphocytes. And then they mature in the thymus, which is also a primary lymphatic organ. So after they were created in the bone marrow, they will transfer in the thymus where they mature. Okay, so let's have a recap. So in lymphatic system, we talk about the lymphatic capillaries. This is where the interstitial fluid was absorbed and became lymphs, and then later on going to the lymphatic vessels, the lymphatic ducts, and the subclavian veins, wherein they will going to return to the circulatory system or these blood vessels. So we also discuss about the different lymphatic organs and tissues. So basically, lymphatic organs are composed of lymphatic tissues. So we have secondary organs, secondary lymphatic organs, and primary lymphatic organs. So in secondary lymphatic organs, we have the lymph nodes, we have the spleen, and also the tonsil. So in our primary lymphatic organs, we have two, which is the red bone marrow and then the thymus. And these primary organs are the synthesizers of these lymphatic cells, or also known as the lymphocytes, and also involves the macrophage. Okay? So those are the organs, cells, and tissues that is involved in the lymphatic system and immunity. So now let's proceed to immunity. So immunity is the ability to resist damage from foreign substances such as microorganism, harmful chemicals such as toxin released by microorganism, and internal threats such as cancer cells. Immunity is categorized as innate immunity, also called as non-specific resistance, and adaptive immunity, also called as specific immunity. Although the two systems are fully integrated in the body, the innate immunity or the body recognize and destroy certain foreign substance or substances, but the response to them is the same each time the body is exposed. Okay, so first let's start with the innate immunity. Innate immunity includes defenses that are present at birth and genetically determined. So the main components of innate immunity are number one, the physical barrier that prevent microbes from entering the body of the physically remove them from body surfaces. And then number two, the chemical mediators that act directly against organism or active other mechanism. And then number three, the cells involved in phagocytosis in the reproduction or the production of chemicals that participate in the immune response. Aside from those mentioned immunity, we also have an acquired adaptive immunity. So we have four acquired adaptive immunity. First, we have the active natural immunity result from natural exposure to an antigen. Like for example, we are too exposed to rain, no? Hindi pag always tayo nauulanan, always tayo, of course, rain is natural. And then always tayo nauulanan and nagkakalagnat, and then napapansin natin na parang hindi na tayo gano'n nilalagnat kapag nauulanan tayo when the time goes by, no? So, number two, we have the active artificial immunity resulting from deliberately or sinadyang exposure to an antigen. So, number three, passive natural immunity results from the transfer of antibody from a mother to her fetus or baby, no? So, heredity. And number four, passive artificial immunity result from the transfer of antibodies or cells from an immune animal or an immune human to an non-immune animal or human. No? So animal and human is related because we are belong to us human belong to animalia kingdom. Okay. So we also have an what's so-called immunotherapy. So immunotherapy is basically treats disease by stimulating or inhibiting the immune system. Okay, so that's all for the chapter 22. And then we have another video for the chapter 23. So see you there, guys. Thank you for listening and kita-kits sa ating chapter 23.